was closing up the pizza place on Elmwood Avenue in Dayton around 11 p.m., just finishing my last orders and trying to get home early because my back was killing me from standing all night, and the night had been quiet, which was nice, until I got the order for North Briarwood Lane, just a couple blocks off the main road, and the note said, "Leave at door, no contact." But the app also said, "Customer likes a knock anyway," so I grabbed the bags and headed out, figuring it would be a 5-minute trip. And then I could finally sit down, and that's when I noticed the streetlights were flickering a little. Just barely noticeable. Nothing too crazy, just enough that my shadow kept stretching weirdly on the sidewalk, and I realized I hadn't seen anyone else on the street for a while, which felt a little odd at first, but I tried to ignore it. I pulled up in the car, double-checked the address carefully, and the house was dark, except for a dim porch light, the kind of light that barely cut through the night, and I got out, carrying the bags, feeling the cool breeze brush past my face, and felt the first twinge of that gut feeling, like something was off somehow, but I chalked it up to being tired from work and tried to focus on the bags in my hands. I walked to the door, knocked once firmly, and when nobody came out, I set the bags down carefully, but then I heard it, a soft shuffle behind me, almost like someone's shoes scraping the gravel across the yard. So I froze instantly, my heart jumping wildly, and waited silently, thinking maybe it was the neighbor's dog outside, but the sound kept moving subtly, closer each second, circling around me, just faint enough that I could not tell where it was coming from, and I realized I could hear my own heartbeat in my ears. As I stood completely still, I stuffed the bags under the mat quickly and turned around slowly, seeing nothing at all. And then I heard a whisper of movement from the side of the porch, the kind that made my stomach knot immediately, and I tried to convince myself it was nothing significant, but I could feel my pulse in my ears strongly, and I found myself glancing at every shadow, my eyes straining in the dim light. I started walking back to my car carefully, fast but not running, trying to stay calm under pressure, noticing the uneven sidewalk under my shoes. And that's when I saw a shadow cross the street in the corner of my eye, small at first. Then it seemed to move with me silently, keeping pace deliberately, and I tried to shake it off quickly, telling myself anyone could be out walking at this hour, but I could tell by the way it paused every time I paused slowly that it was not random at all. I finally got the door open, jumped in quickly, locked it immediately, and he froze at the edge of the porch, staring for a second silently, then casually walked back toward the street slowly. But I could tell he was still there somewhere, just waiting silently, and I sat there trying to breathe quietly, telling myself I was overreacting badly, noticing how the dim light barely hit the street around me, making every corner seem darker. I glanced in the rearview mirror cautiously, and he was gone from the street completely. But then movement in the corner of the lot caught my attention. Quick and low, just for a moment briefly, like he had ducked behind a hedge stealthily, and I slammed the car in reverse. Tires squealing a little slightly, and the hair on my arms was sticking up the whole way nervously, my hands gripping the wheel tightly. Every few seconds, I thought I saw him on a driveway, standing quietly, just enough to make me swerve a little awkwardly, and I kept the headlights off for half the block carefully, checking constantly, praying silently. It was just my imagination, temporarily, my eyes darting constantly to the edges of the road. I finally got back to the pizzeria parking, heart pounding heavily, car still running quietly, and I sat there, staring at the dark road ahead nervously, realizing even as I shut down the engine and turned to go inside slowly that he had not gone anywhere at all, and somewhere out there, just past the edge of the light, he was still waiting patiently, watching carefully, and he would be there for the next person who thought they could make it home alone at midnight. And I could not shake the feeling that if I had been even a minute slower, he might have made his move. And that thought stayed with me as I finally walked inside, trying to tell myself I was safe, but knowing the streets around North Briarwood Lane were still alive with the quiet, patient presence I had just escaped.